Car dealership manager kicks out Barron Trump. What happens when a car dealership manager, unaware of a monumental shift in ownership, decides to exert his authority over the wrong person? This is the story of a simple misunderstanding that spirals into an unexpected revelation of character and ownership, demonstrating the profound effects of respect and recognition in our interactions. Barron Trump, known primarily for his lineage, had recently made an unconventional move by acquiring a modest car dealership in rural Virginia as part of a larger investment strategy aimed at reshaping his personal brand into one synonymous with hands-on business acumen. On the day in question, Barron decided to visit the dealership unannounced, to gain a first-hand understanding of the business operations and the team he would be working with. Upon arrival, dressed in plain attire, a sharp contrast to the tailored suits one might expect, the youngest Trump was far from recognizable to the unsuspecting staff. His casual demeanor and understated appearance were intended to provide him with an unfiltered experience of the dealership's day-to-day operations. However, this approach led to an unforeseen encounter with the dealership's then-manager, Mr. George Hanley. George, a stern and somewhat rigid professional with over 2 decades in the automotive industry, was known for his strict adherence to rules and hierarchy. On spotting Barron wandering around the showroom floor, examining cars and peering into the mechanic's work area, George mistook him for a potential security risk or, at best, an over-curious customer. Approaching Barron, George's tone was firm and devoid of the warmth typically extended to guests. "Can I help you with something? This area isn't really meant for customers. I need to ask you to return to the main lobby," he stated, not unkindly, but firmly enough to convey a non-negotiable instruction. Barron, intrigued by this adherence to policy and undeterred by the misunderstanding, decided to engage further. "I was actually hoping to get a better look at how things run here," Barron replied, maintaining a level of ambiguity about his identity. "Is there someone in charge that I could speak to?" Frustration apparent, George responded more sternly, "Look, I'm the manager here, and I need to insist you comply with our policies. If you're looking for someone higher up, you'll find they're not here today. I must ask you to leave if you cannot respect the rules." The confrontation might have escalated had it not been for the timely intervention of Melissa, the assistant manager, who recognized Barron from a company email announcing the new ownership. Horrified at the unfolding scene, she hurried over. "Mr. Trump, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had arrived." "George, this is the new owner," she interjected, her voice a mix of relief and apology. The realization dawned on George, and the color drained from his face as he comprehended the gravity of his mistake. The awkward silence that followed was palpable. With a measured calmness, Barron broke the tension. "It's all right, George. Let's start over. I'm here to understand, not to judge. Can you show me around?" The rest of the visit passed without incident, with George providing a detailed tour and Barron observing quietly, his initial impressions of the business tinged with the knowledge of his first, challenging interaction. This incident, though minor in the grand scheme of things, underscored the importance of humility, respect, and the readiness to reassess first impressions. In the end, the day proved to be a learning experience for all involved. For Barron, it was a first-hand lesson in the assumptions and dynamics of a new business environment. For George, it was a stark reminder of the value of kindness and the potential impact of every interaction. The dealership moved forward under new ownership with a story that would often be retold as a foundational lesson in leadership and humility. Following the initial awkward encounter, Barron and George walked through the dealership, discussing various aspects of the business. George, now keenly aware of the importance of first impressions and open communication, took the opportunity to detail the operational challenges and successes the dealership had encountered. Barron listened intently, his approachable demeanor encouraging George to open up more than he typically would with a newcomer, let alone the owner. As they moved from the showroom to the service area, Barron's interest in the mechanics of the business became apparent. "How do we handle customer complaints?" he inquired, looking at a car up on a lift. George explained their process, which included immediate assessment and a customer service follow-up call. "Do you think it's effective?" Barron prodded, genuinely curious. George paused, then admitted, "It could be better. We sometimes miss follow-ups due to workload." Barron nodded, his response thoughtful. "What if we implement a digital tracking system for follow-ups? Could help us ensure no customer feels neglected, right?" His suggestion wasn't just about improving efficiency. It was about building trust and loyalty with their clients. George, initially taken aback by Barron's hands-on approach and his willingness to immediately invest in improvements, felt a surge of respect and optimism. That could really work, he agreed, warming to the new owner's style. Their conversation continued onto the sales floor. Here, Barron met some of the sales staff, asking them questions about their experiences and customers. Each employee brought a new perspective, highlighting the diversity of the team and their approaches to sales. Barron's interest in their opinions and his respect for their expertise did not go unnoticed. The staff, energized by his engagement, shared stories of memorable sales and the strategies they used. As the visit drew to a close, Barron gathered the team together. "I learned a lot today, not just about our cars, but about the people who sell them and service them. You're the engine of this place, and I'm here to make sure you have what you need to run smoothly," he declared, his tone both serious and encouraging. The team's reaction was positive, their earlier reservations about the change in ownership melting away in the face of Barron's evident commitment to both the business and its people. Before leaving, Barron turned to George, extending his hand. "Thank you for the tour, and for the frank discussions. I'm looking forward to working with you, learning from you, and seeing where we can take this dealership together." George, his respect for Barron cemented, shook his hand firmly. "I appreciate that, Mr. Trump. I'm here to help make this transition as successful as possible." As Barron drove away from the dealership, he reflected on the day's interactions. Each conversation, each moment of connection had not only informed his understanding of his new business, but had also reaffirmed his belief in the importance of respecting and valuing every member of his team. This wasn't just about cars. It was about people, relationships, and the power of effective communication. It was a lesson he would carry forward into his next business venture, and beyond. With a renewed sense of purpose, Barron spent the following weeks deeply involved in the dealership's operations. He initiated several changes, starting with the implementation of the digital tracking system he had discussed with George. The new system was designed to enhance customer satisfaction by ensuring all follow-up actions were timely and no client's concerns were overlooked. This change was met with enthusiasm by the service team, who found their work streamlined and more manageable. Meanwhile, Barron also focused on enhancing the training programs for sales and service staff. He believed that empowering employees through education and clear communication was key to fostering a positive work environment and driving business success. Workshops on customer service excellence, sales techniques, and stress management were scheduled, providing the team with tools to improve their interactions and sales pitches. The impact of these initiatives was palpable. Customer reviews began to reflect a noticeable improvement in service quality and staff responsiveness. Sales numbers started to climb as the team applied their new skills, and morale soared with their successes. Barron's approach not only boosted the dealership's performance, but also built a strong team spirit that permeated the entire operation. One day, during a routine visit, Barron decided to hold an impromptu feedback session. Gathering the team, he asked, "How are things going? What can we do better?" The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, yet constructive. One technician suggested, "Maybe we could set up a system for sharing successful sales tactics among the team." Barron loved the idea and promised to help facilitate it. As autumn rolled in, the dealership prepared for its first major sale under new management. Barron was hands-on, working with the marketing team to craft promotions that highlighted the quality of their vehicles and the excellence of their service. "Let's make sure our clients know we value their trust and strive to offer them the best," Barron insisted. The sale was a hit. Customers flocked to the dealership, drawn by the compelling advertising and the buzz around the improved customer service. The staff worked tirelessly, their efforts supported by Barron's leadership and the new systems in place. By the end of the month, the dealership had not only met its sales targets, but exceeded them by a significant margin. Reflecting on the successes, Barron felt a profound satisfaction in the knowledge that his efforts had paid off, benefiting both the business and its employees. He realized that his hands-on approach and willingness to listen and adapt had been crucial in turning around the dealership's fortunes. His final thought as he reviewed the sales reports was simple yet powerful. It's about setting a standard, leading by example, and making sure everyone knows they're part of something great. With this philosophy, he was confident that the dealership was on the right path to long-term success, anchored by a team that felt valued and motivated. Buoyed by the recent successes, Barron began to look ahead, considering what other innovations could be introduced to further elevate the dealership's standing. His mind buzzed with ideas, eco-friendly initiatives, community outreach programs, even a series of Meet Your Mechanic days to foster greater transparency and trust between customers and staff. What if we not only meet expectations but exceed them in unexpected ways? He pondered, excited about the possibilities. As winter approached, the dealership launched a Warm Wheels campaign, a community outreach initiative spearheaded by Barron. The campaign involved providing free vehicle checks and maintenance for local senior citizens as the colder months rolled in. The team was enthusiastic. They saw it as a way to give back to the community that had embraced the dealership's new direction. "It's not just about cars. It's about caring," Barron explained during the campaign kickoff. His words resonated with the staff, deepening their commitment to the dealership's new ethos. The positive public response was overwhelming. Local newspapers picked up the story, praising the dealership for its community spirit and innovative approach to business. Customers began to pour in, not only to shop for cars, but also to support a business that was clearly invested in the well-being of its community. This surge in popularity led to an increase in sales and an expansion of the dealership's reputation far beyond its previous reach. Encouraged by this success, Barron next introduced environmentally friendly practices at the dealership. This included recycling waste products, installing energy-efficient lighting, and offering incentives for customers purchasing hybrid or electric vehicles. "Let's lead the way in making the automotive industry more sustainable," Barron advocated, ensuring that his business practices reflected his commitment to environmental stewardship. The team's morale was at an all-time high. They were not only part of a successful business venture, but were also contributing positively to their community and environment. The dealership became a model of how a business could thrive while making significant contributions to societal and environmental betterment. As the year drew to a close, Barron organized a celebration for the dealership's staff and their families. It was a festive event, filled with gratitude and laughter, reflecting on the year's achievements and the transformations that had taken place. "This year has shown us what we can accomplish when we work together with purpose and vision," Barron addressed the gathering, his voice filled with pride and optimism. "Here's to continuing our journey, pushing boundaries, and setting benchmarks in the automotive industry." The event ended with applause, cheers, and a collective sense of achievement. The employees left feeling valued and inspired, eager to see what the next year would bring under Barron's visionary leadership. For Barron, the dealership was no longer just a business venture. It had become a beacon of progressive change and community focus, a place where every handshake and service provided was a step towards a better future. As the new year dawned, Barron focused on further embedding the values of innovation and community engagement into the dealership's culture. Inspired by the previous year's successes, he decided to launch a scholarship program for the children of employees, aiming to invest in the future of the very community that had supported the dealership's transformation. What if every employee felt that working here not only supported their family, but also their dreams? Barron mused, excited about the ripple effects this could create. The scholarship program was met with tears of joy and heartfelt gratitude from the team. It wasn't just a financial boon. It symbolized Barron's commitment to the welfare of his employees' families, strengthening the bonds within the dealership family. "Thank you, Mr. Trump. You're really making a difference in our lives," one of the parents said during the announcement, her voice thick with emotion. Building on the theme of community and sustainability, Barron also spearheaded the adoption of a local park, organizing monthly cleanup days where employees and their families could volunteer to maintain and beautify the space. It turned into a cherished monthly event, where staff bonded and took pride in their collective contribution to the community's well-being. "We're not just cleaning up a park, we're setting an example, right?" Barron would say, handing out gloves and garbage bags, always right alongside his team. With the dealership flourishing under Barron's leadership, he sought new ways to innovate the customer experience. He introduced virtual reality test drives, allowing customers to experience the cars in dynamic environments without leaving the dealership. Imagine test driving your future car in the Alps or along the Pacific Coast Highway, all from right here, Barron enthused during the launch. This novel approach attracted tech-savvy buyers and received extensive media coverage, further elevating the dealership's cutting-edge reputation. The positive buzz was undeniable. Customer foot traffic increased, sales continued to grow, and the dealership's reputation for being at the forefront of the automotive industry was cemented. Barron's approach had turned the dealership into a community hub, a place where innovation and commitment to societal values drove business. As Barron reflected on the journey, he realized that the most profound changes often come from simple, heartfelt gestures of kindness and forward-thinking initiatives. It's about more than just cars. It's about community, innovation, and creating a legacy of positive impact, he shared in an end-of-year interview with a major automotive magazine. His vision for a business that prioritizes both profit and social impact had not only transformed the dealership, but also set a new standard in the industry. The story of the dealership under Barron Trump's stewardship is a testament to the power of visionary leadership and the profound impact businesses can have on their communities. It's a narrative of transformation, innovation, and the endless possibilities that arise when a leader is willing to think differently and act boldly.